everyone, I wanted to make a video to help you with identifying the rhythms and scansion and identifying the poetic meter. So we are in that practice document that I had you download, and this first part here, the purpose of the first part is actually to get you to a memory aid to help you memorize the various rhythms, the more common rhythms. They're more than the ones presented here, but this class is only going to focus on these. So if you just remember, iambics march from short to long, even when you hear that, iambics march from short to long, da-da-da-da, right? So I went ahead and I put it down here. The scansion of it would be, it's soft and then loud, and then soft and then loud, and then soft and then loud, and then soft and then loud, right? So weak, strong, weak, strong, weak, strong. And then the next one is trochaic. So trochees, trip from long to short. Troche, trips from long to short. You can even hear these strongly accented syllables. The tro, the trips, the long, and the short. Then dactylic is going to be ever to come up with dactylic trisyllable. Ever to come up with dactylic trisyllable. So the ev, the come, the dact, and the sil, those are all stronger. And then the next one is anapaes. So with a leap and a bound, that's with anapaes throng. With a leap and a bound, you can even hear it. Leap, bound, and throng. Those are all strongly accented. And then finally a spondee. A spondee is going to be when you have two strongly accented syllables in a foot, right? So everything is strong. Slow, spondee, stalk, strong, foot. It's all strong. And then these forward slashes I've put in here, these are our markings for our foot markers when you've completed one unit of rhythm. So if a spondee is two strong accents, then 1, 2, those are strong, and I put a foot marker, and then 1, 2, and then foot marker. So let's go ahead and see a couple of these. I'll do for each of the practices to help you out. These are in isolation, which don't get used to, because when you have poetry, it's not going to be in isolation, right? So it's a little misleading, so be careful. But just for practice's sake, I wanted to provide it. So if you have around, well, when you think about this word around, there are actually two syllables, and round, right? Two syllables in this word. And that's the first thing you want to do, is you want to look at how many syllables are in the word. Well, if you have around, are you strongly accenting the or are you strongly accenting the round? Well, an is just a small little vowel sound. Round is much harsher. It's got those consonant sounds and you have to hit them pretty hard. So is going to be soft, and then round is going to be harsh. So because of that, we know it's weak strong. This is going to be iambic. And in the next one, okay, so author, author, you've got two syllables, author, right? And when you say it naturally and you put it in a sentence, what becomes the louder syllable, the auth or the or? Well, author, you're usually, probably, unless something is really weird in that sentence, you're going to strongly accent the auth, and it's going to be a weak or, author. So in that instance, this is going to be trochaic. Do a couple more. So balance, how many syllables in balance? Well, balance, right? Balance. There's two syllables in balance. And when you say the word balance, you have to strongly accent the vowel, the b, because it's really harsh, right? In this instance, the bow makes it strong. So bow is strong, ants is soft. And if bow is strong and ants is soft, this is again trochaic. Let's look at because. So when we say because, and again, I know we just had a B, and you're like, okay, well then it's harsh, right? But a lot of times, if you notice, people don't even say the word because. What they say is they say cuz. And that's because we actually strongly accent the back end, the second syllable. So in this word, the B is actually soft and the cuz is actually harsh. So this is going to be iambic because it's weak strong. Okay, I'm going to stop there and have you do the rest of those. And then scroll on down to practice number 2. Let's look at this. So this one is asking you to go ahead and, again, find the strong accents and the weak accents and then put in your foot markers. And this is scansion. Let's try this first one. So step one, what you want to do when you're given a full line is you want to go ahead and separate your syllables. That's step one. And then the second thing you want to do is, okay, now I've separated my syllables, which ones are louder than the rest, and mark those as the strong accents, and which one are softer. So I'm going to go ahead and type this full line without it anything capitalized. Lovely. Okay, so when I look at away, I know away is 2 syllables, so I'm going to just separate them for now and stop the darn out of capitalization. Lovely, lovely, that's 2 syllables. So desperate is hard because technically, if you look at the word, it's desperate. It's actually 3 syllables, desperate. But when we say this word in like normal speech, we don't say she is a desperate person. We say she's a desperate. Desperate. So I know if you looked up in the dictionary, desperate would be 3 syllables, but we don't say them all. We just say desperate. So we're going to separate that. Okay, if I was to say this line as naturally as possible, I want to now listen into which syllables sound louder than the rest. Away, lovely, desperate, dead set. Away, lovely, desperate, dead set. Okay, well, I know I'm hitting dead set really harsh, so I'm going to go ahead and capitalize that. And I know away, is just a soft little vowel sound. Okay, so I know way is going to be harsh. Now, lovely, because I have to slam on the lee, then maybe lee is harsh. And desperate, well, the sprat, you have to like slam all that back end, right? So let's go ahead and capitalize sprat. Sorry for my clock going off. Okay. So now let me read the line as I have presented it to see if it makes sense. And you always want to do that. You want to check by just reading it the way that you have now presented it. Away, lovely, desperate, dead set. Away, lovely, desperate, dead set. And I think, yeah, that makes sense. So now because I like it, I'm going to go ahead and I can see a pattern. Weak, strong, okay, put a foot marker. Weak, strong, okay, put a foot marker. Weak, strong, okay, put a foot marker. And then I have strong, strong. This is an example of a spondee. But the rest of it is weak, strong. So the majority of this line is iambic, weak, strong. Okay, that would be the rhythm. So identify the rhythm and do the scansion. That's the rhythm. How about the next one? Because I could not stop for death. All right. So because I could not stop for death. So when you say this line, you can find out that the only word that is multisyllabic, that has multiple syllables in it, is because, right? That's the only word, stupid auto. That's the only word. The rest of them are only 1 syllable in each of them. Now let me read the line as naturally as possible and see if I can find where it seems as though which syllables are louder. Because I could not stop for death. Because I could not stop for death. Okay, so when I say that line to me, again, I would say cuz is really harsh. So I'm going to go ahead and strongly accent that. Because I could not stop for death. I could not. Okay, for me, I hear could. I definitely hear death. And so I'm looking at that. I see a bit of a pattern here, although my autocorrect is making it unkind. I see a bit of a pattern. So maybe stop is also loud. Okay, how about I take that pattern then? It looks like it's weak, strong. Throw a foot marker. Weak, strong. Throw a foot marker. Weak, strong. Throw a foot marker. And I can see it now. Because I could not stop for death. Dun, 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 dun. This is going to be iambic. Weak, strong. Let's do another one. How about number 3? Black cat, where are you at? Black cat, where are you at? Okay. Okay, so when I look at this line and I look at these words, do I see if any of them have multiple syllables? And the answer to that is no, that they're all the same. They're all 1 syllable. They're monosyllabic words. The second thing you should notice is the question mark. Anytime you have a question mark, you're actually supposed to rise at the end of a question mark. You're supposed to strongly accent the last syllable in a question. And you do that so that the listener knows it's a question, right? If you've ever had someone say, like, was that a question? And they say, was that, because they're unclear because maybe you didn't enunciate it. So I can see automatically question mark. Okay, this has to be strong. It has to be, because that's the purpose of it. All right, so let me look at the rest of it and see, where do I think I hear the strong accents? Black cat, where are you at? Black cat. So you would think, hey, these are both pretty strong, right? Black and cat, and say, you know, I can't decide it. Well, then skip it. If you can't figure it out here, start here. Where are you at? Well, where are you at? I hear R pretty loud. Where are you at? And if that's loud, let me work my way back and say, okay, I can see a little bit of a pattern here. Maybe cat is strong. Let me now read the line as naturally as possible and see if it, with what I've accented here, sounds right to me. Black cat, where are you at? Yeah, that sounds right. So weak, strong, I know you're getting tired of that. I probably shouldn't have put so many of these at the beginning. So weak, strong, I put a foot marker. Weak, strong, I put a foot marker. Weak, strong, I put a foot marker. And sorry, it is again iambic. Just kind of happened that way. I actually alphabetized this. So that's the way it works. Let me just like randomly pick one and hopefully it will not be. Let's do this one. Let's do number 12. Sing it all merrily. Okay, sing it all merrily. Let me type it out. Sing it all merrily. And take out the capitalizations. And now let me look at multiple syllables, right? So the only one that has multiple syllables is merrily. 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 So 3 syllables. So merrily. Okay. When I say this naturally, what do I hear louder? Sing it all merrily. Sing. I have to hit the sing pretty harsh. So I'm going to go ahead and capitalize that. Sing it all merrily. Mer is pretty harsh. Let me go for that. Do I see a pattern now? Sing it all merrily. This is harsh. This is weak, weak. Okay, so strong, weak, weak. Foot marker. Strong, weak, weak. Yes, that is a recognizable rhythm. This is going to be dactylic. Strong, weak, weak, strong. So sing it all merrily. Makes sense. Okay, let me get on to practice number 3. So the only difference between 2 and 3 is now you have to give me the poetic meter, which is to say you also have to count up your feet. And when you count up your feet, you know that second part. So the first part was identifying the rhythm. It's iambic. But then 1, 2, 3, that gets trimeter. Okay, so go back to that page in the PowerPoint and I'll tell you how many feet equals the term that you give it for the meter. Okay, let's see number 1. Green is our hope in it, white is our faith in it. So we're going to do the exact same process as we have been doing. Don't do anything different. So green as our hope in it. Okay. So now I have that line again. Let me ask myself, are there any words that have multiple syllables? And the answer is no. These are all single syllable, monosyllabic words, right? So nothing needs to be separated. Easy. Now I'm going to say it as naturally as possible and kind of see what I hear the most. Green is our hope in it. White is our faith in it. Green. Green is pretty harsh, so let me go for that. Green is our hope in it. Now I hear white pretty harsh. Green is our hope in it, white as our faith in it. Faith is pretty harsh. Okay, now I'm starting to see a pattern, right? I can think hope is pretty strong too. So, green is our hope in it, green as our hope in it, white as our faith in it. Dun, 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 right? So strong, weak, weak. That's a recognizable pattern. I put a foot marker. Strong, weak, weak. That gets a foot marker. Strong, weak, weak. That gets a foot marker. So I can see this pattern. The rhythm is definitely going to be dactylic again. And then I count up the feet. And the feet tell me 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 feet in this, which means it's tetrameter. So the poetic meter for number 1 is dactylic tetrameter. Let's do another one. So let me just copy and paste that, right? That would be so much quicker. Silly me. Copy and paste. Here we go. So, same process. Let me find the multisyllabic words. So, heavy, hev-e. I definitely know that's 2. Heavy. And then with the heart and silence, silence. Okay, that's going to be 2. Silence. Groovy, that's lower